Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Nosh's Quest to Gold, the Silver Edition. Today we're going to be looking at a PvP game between myself, or Red Protoss player Nosh, down the bottom left of Core Hall Compound, one of the new Season 6 maps, and up the top right our blue Protoss opponent is Zebraforever. Now this matchup is going to be my my Season 6 placement match, and I'll tell you a little bit about that as the game progresses. What I initially wanted to do with this match was to record it live. I really enjoyed kind of streaming my live game, the one I did earlier on. I think it was the 6th one I ended up putting on the channel. I really enjoyed doing that. So I decided I would do this game live. During today, when I was playing this game, I don't know why I'm pointing at the screen, you guys can't see me pointing at the screen. During today, when I was playing this game, before it, I practiced, say, a good 4 matches on each of the 2 new maps. This is Core Hall Compound, this is one of the 2, and the other map is called, I think it's Cloud City, maybe? So I played a couple of practice matches on that, but they're quick matches, and they take place on, you can play anyone of any rank when you're playing those, so it's hard to be able to tell. But anyway, playing this map, when I was recording the actual live stream of it today, my girlfriend phoned me, and I completely lost all focus of what I was trying to do. I think it was roughly around sometime around when I have this scouting probe in the base that I get phoned. And I don't know what happens, but I'm sure I run it into the mineral line and it gets surrounded or killed or something. But my phone rings. I think it could be around now because it's just sitting eating a wall. I could easily click the mineral patches just up here. My phone rings. I get a little bit distracted and I completely forget what I'm planning to do. Now, my straight-up Protoss versus Protoss strategy is, and always kind of has been, a 3-gate robo. I played a couple of practice games today, against Protoss actually, and lost both of them. Now, the first matchup I lost against was somebody else who went like a 4-gate rush, but I didn't have a good defense here. And they were very, very aggressive at the start, and managed to beat me just with a straight-up 4-gate against my 3-gate robo. I didn't actually have any immortals out, and they just overwhelmed me with units. The second game I played, I lost to Blink Stalkers. But at the moment, even though I'm a little bit behind, actually I'm quite a lot behind if you look at the Cybernetics core timings between myself and my friend here. I'm actually quite a lot behind. But yeah, the second game I lost to Blink Stalkers. It was just a higher ranking player. I think they were in gold or platinum or something. But they beat me anyway, so. But anyway, I decided, my girlfriend should be at work till about 6:30. It was only 3:30 when I started playing the game. I had plenty of time, but she managed to get away early and come home, and she was phoning me to see if there was any milk in the house or whatever, so I kind of lost my focus. Now, I'm following this probe back. I've shot it out of my base. I'm actually going to follow all the way in to make sure I can get some more scouting intel. If we have a quick look at my vision, I'm just checking for anything fishy, any information I can use to see if it's a 4-gate that's coming, what it is. So we see one gas. We come up here at the back. We've managed to lose this zealot. He's actually running back to the gate. And we see the second gas has been put down. Because of that, I know it's probably not going to be your typical all-in super rush 4-gate. There's actually a considerable number of drones here as well. That's quite a lot of drones, oversaturated. You could do with moving a couple of those onto as a simulator here. Quite heavily oversaturated. Back down home, I don't think I spotted this robo, did I? This robo coming down here. I didn't mean to look at his vision. That's not going to help me at all. No, I didn't. Oh, I could have spotted that robo, but I know myself I didn't actually end up seeing it. So back down home, I have my 3 gates coming in. I also have a Twilight Council. I've decided in my infinite wisdom, because I'm kind of a little bit flustered with speaking to my girlfriend, and at this point I'd started the recording, sorry, and then cancelled it, and then started it again and tried to explain what had happened in the 3 minutes of the game that had just disappeared. Then I decided I was going to go for Blink Stalkers. It's something I'd never done before. And I don't have terribly good blink micro at all, but I was just going to give it a try, just for the banter, which, in retrospect, maybe wasn't the best idea I've ever had. Now, Zebraforever, he's got quite an interesting composition as well. He's got his 3 gates and his robo, which is, to be honest, it's exactly what I have, but he has came out with his expansion now. Now, I would, again, one of the things I'm worse for doing all the time is not really scouting. If I had my observer up, I'm actually starting a robo now, because you will need an observer for a 3-gate Robo. No, you won't need an observer for 3-gate Robo. You need a Robo and an observer for Blink Stalkers. Especially in this map, it's actually quite good. You can either get a pylon down here, or there's a lot of space here. And without a pylon or any buildings in this bottom half of your base, I imagine cannon rushes ahoy are going to come from down here, or fucking hatcheries in your base or something. It's just a big base to be stuck in. But anyway, that's completely off topic. He's got an observer into my base. I'm going to send an observer out as well myself. The problem is I don't send it up here, and I won't be scouting that he's expanded for a considerable amount of time, and that's going to put me even more behind. Now, moving out with the scouting probe, he's going to grab this watchtower and get slaughtered by this this zealot. He ends up running into this strange little, I don't know, bit of cliff here. I don't really get what that's there for. Also, there's some Vespian in a truck there. Free Vespian. So I'm moving out across the map with a couple of units. At this point, it's not became aware to me that the one thing you should really do when you're going Blink Stalkers is maybe research Blink. My girlfriend, when she phoned me, was asking me if there was any milk or bread in the house, and I said I didn't go out and buy any, so I don't know. And then she said she was going to buy some, and then just showed up and was asking me what I was doing and things. And I don't really mean to blame it all on her. I mean, I wasn't playing my best in this game, you will see that. But I completely fail at my own strategy. So we're going to plant a proxy pylon down here. My first attempt at harass or any other anythings is coming around the 8.5 to 9 minute mark. You can see that the army supply is pretty even. The worker supply is actually favouring my opponent even more, so he just got another couple of out. And he does have his expansion going. He's also getting his +1 out of a forge up the back. He also has some cannons for defence. He's doing it in a good position. At the moment, I've just realised, there we go, blink. Blink, you can see I pulled them off this group and moved them over here, and what did you forget, Nosh? What did you forget? So that's me starting Blink now at the 9 minute and 15 second mark, which, when you're really trying to do Blink Stalkers, it's really best not to do that. Also, if you just spotted these 3 pylons dropping down, I was a little bit supply blocked, and nothing says fuck you, supply block, than, you know, planting down an additional, what's that, 32 supply? So that's another few war pins coming on. At the moment as well, with this observer, I still have absolutely no idea what's going on up here. I'm just going to send in 3 zealots up into the mineral line to try and get an attack going on, but this hefty number of stalkers, that's 9 stalkers coming into the base, they're going to take quite good care of my zealots. I didn't put them in hold position, I didn't chase after the drones or anything, so I have just lost all of those zealots that I worked in. With the morals coming out now for zebraforever, he's going to move down here and engage this, and as you can see, there's no red lines around these yet, which means I'm not selecting these. He's target firing my units at the moment. There we go. Now we're pulling away. Now I realize I'm being attacked. I do have this probe hiding down here in the trees. That's actually quite difficult to see without having health bars or anything on. I also have my observer back up in his base, and I'm actually going up here. This is my first scouting of the front of his base to see if he's expanded. I dropped my own expansion, a couple of pylons at the front. Blink's just about finished. We're warping in some more stalkers, but because of the army supply, oh no, I'm winning. Hooray, I'm the best at winning. I'm actually winning the army supply at the moment. But then I am quite considerably behind in income. As you can see, it's almost double. It's more than double. Good times. Quite considerably behind in the income race, which means that Zebra should really be able to get a good strong tech advantage on me. At the moment, as you can see as well, he does have double robo out. He hasn't got his robotics bay out yet, but, you know, time will tell. That does seem like a good idea. He does have +1 weapons. He hasn't got a Twilight Council for the armor upgrade. Oh, and there you go, there you go. There's your robotics bay as well. Now, I'm working hard on getting this saturated. I'm actually not producing any more drones, probes, which, to be honest, I think I should be, because I'm going to need to move some of these guys down onto my expansion, and instead of, I suppose I'm trying to, like, get a little bit more of an army up. Now you can see that the army supply is starting to creep back in Zebra's favour. He does have a considerably higher supply advantage. He's actually a little bit supply blocked, and most of that will be probes. I, on the other hand, I'm king of not being supply blocked by having so many pylons and absolutely no, units to pump out of them. I'm actually starting my own robo bay as well. No, I'm not. That's the wrong production tab, Nosh. He's halfway through doing his robo bay. I'm just sticking to gateway units. As I'm pretty sure if either of you, if all 2 of you have seen any games before, you'll understand that unupgraded gateway units, for example this 0-0 Stalker, or this 0-0 Sentry with 4 health, they're not going to do very well against Colossus with +1 and +1/+1. My Blink Stalkers are going to have a +1 damage upgrade that's coming out of my forge right now, which is nice, but unfortunately against the +1 armor, and if he does decide to research it, the range for Colossus that Zebra could get, he does have the money as well. He's got plenty of money with his expansion. Pretty well saturated, I have to say. I really don't see me standing a good chance. Now, all things considered, the games I played today and my practices, I can't really say I got too much out of them. I played against... Make these warp gates, Nosh. Make these warp gates... No, it's depressing. I put my hand over the screen to cover them so that you couldn't see my failure, but that's just more failure. I played against a couple of people who were similar league to me. I played against someone who was Master League that completely destroyed me. He was a Zerg player and went mutas and he ate my bases. He even told me in the first 2 minutes of the game. He's like, so, where are you going to go? And I was like, lol. And he's like, I'm going mutas. And I was like, don't go mutas. And he's like, oh, why not? And I was like, because I'm bad against mutas. And he's like, well, I don't see you doing well. And then he proceeded to completely destroy me and then tell me how I should have played the game and that I sucked pretty much. In that kind of way that he was being really nice and being really helpful, but at the same time, it was just kind of belittling for me, being told how shit I was and how I needed to play. But one thing I did take from him is, as you'll have actually noticed if you look back at every single one of the games I've played, is I do absolutely no harass. And in a matchup like PvP, it's maybe not quite as essential, but against a Zerg opponent especially, it's very good to see some degree of harass to stop them just getting free reign and doing what they want. A Zerg opponent getting free reign who's going to be able to, I don't know, get 3 or 4 bases as quickly as they want. Sorry, this is really nice, I like this. Get 3 or 4 bases whenever they want, or, lol? Get 3 or 4 bases whenever they want, have complete map control, do whatever they want whenever they want. They're going to just, stomp all over Protoss. So he did help me in that respect, but I don't know, it was kind of, he was a Masters level player. Diamond last season, but he's placed Masters this season. Anyway, back to this current game. You can see I'm actually moving out with a little force here. I'm actually not moving out with it as much as I'm moving it over to the side to make his little observer follow me over and then to shoot out with this guy. The problem I'm going to be faced with, as I did say, is these Colossus here, which are going to be 1-1 Thermal Lance Colossus. And now if we have a look at the army supply, it's starting to heavily favour zebraforever. Not only is he up in army supply, he's also up in worker supply as well. He's actually coming out with his 2-2 as well. And with the number of Colossus out, that's another 2 coming out from his double robo over here, all the way across the sky. That's going to give him 6 Colossus. Let's have a look at the stalker count. That's, ooh, maths off the top of my head, 17. 1 poor lonely immortal, 1 poor lonely zealot, but this high volume of, it's kind of a death ball, I guess. It's mostly just stalkers and Colossus, but versus my considerably larger number of stalkers, that's 2 whole pages of stalkers there, more immortals and 1 sentry, he's gonna win. That's flat out gonna happen. Thankfully for me, I'm gonna have 2-1, which is definitely gonna help. If I don't supply block myself, say, I don't know, right now, you do actually notice I've spotted this push coming. I know this is coming. I'm well aware that my end is coming. But I'm supply blocked. I would love nothing more than to warp in a round of stalkers and try and sneak as many of them up here as I can. And then, like, try and sandwich this attack between 2 things. Come around the back and take out the Colossus. That's what I really want to do. You'll actually see me take a small contingent of stalkers to the side. The plan is to move around the back of this attack and snipe out the Colossus. But the problem is, I don't have a good concave here. These units at the back aren't attacking. This is coming in far too late. And fair enough, I'm going to snipe this Colossus. Maybe 1 or 2 Colossus are actually going to get taken down by these stalkers, which is actually really nice. Now he's Zebra's focus firing them because I've lost this whole bunch here. Because I'm no longer supply blocked, to do get another warp in, but I have to take the warp in at the front. And it's even stalker count from the 2 of us versus these 3 now Colossus. You will actually see there's another 2 Colossus coming over from Zebra. He's also warped in another round of stalkers. It would have actually been quite nice of him to maybe bring down a proxy pylon to help engage, but he has outplayed me again, so unfortunately for my placement match, I didn't win, as you're about to see. I'm trying to hold on to everything I can. That's me got 5 stalkers, but here we go, that's 6, 7, 8 stalkers, 6, 5 Colossus, more stalkers coming in, so very, very well played by Zebra, and not so well played by myself. But that does mean, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll just show you that now, it does mean that I have been placed in silver. I've actually been placed in rank 99, I think it was. No, back to rank 100, even better. Rank 100 silver. So I do have a lot of distance to go. 0 wins, rank 100. Fantastic. I've got a long way to go. Quite the mountain to climb. At the moment, the person at the top of my rank, 21 wins and a couple of 100 points. Almost 300 points. Quite a mountain to climb. I'm really looking forward to it. I hope you stay with me and watch it throughout. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the content. I'll catch you guys later on.